You've probably felt it. That nagging sense that technology is moving faster than we can understand it. AI, quantum computing, genetic engineering. These aren't just buzzwords anymore. They're reshaping how we work, what we believe, even what it means to be human. But here's the thing. Most of us are consuming technology without actually understanding it. We're passengers, not pilots. Today we're counting down 5 science and technology books that don't just explain what's happening. They help you think critically about where it's all heading. These are the reads that will change how you see innovation, risk, and your place in a rapidly transforming world. Let's go. Number 5. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This isn't a book about technology in the traditional sense, but it is the foundational text for understanding how human minds process information in an age of data overload. Kahneman, a Nobel Prize-winning psychologist, breaks down how our brains actually work, or more accurately, where they systematically fail us. He introduces the concept of System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 is fast, intuitive, automatic. System 2 is slow, deliberate, logical. Most of our decisions run on System 1, which means we're constantly falling prey to cognitive biases. The relevance to technology? Every algorithm you interact with, every recommendation feed, every AI-driven decision is designed with knowledge of how your mind works. Understanding your own biases is the first line of defense against manipulation. Readers often say this book fundamentally changes how they approach decision-making, whether that's evaluating new technology, assessing risk, or just understanding why they believe what they believe. It's essential reading for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve in a world where technology is learning to exploit human psychology. Number 4. The Innovators by Walter Isaacson. Walter Isaacson has a gift for finding the human story inside the big technological shift. The Innovators tells the history of the digital revolution through the lives of the people who created it. From Ada Lovelace and Charles Babbage in the 1800s, through Alan Turing, Grace Hopper, and Steve Jobs, this book traces how innovation actually happens. Spoiler: it's rarely a lone genius in a garage. Isaacson shows that breakthrough technology comes from collaboration, creative thinking, and sometimes just being in the right place at the right time with the right team. The book covers everything from the origins of computing to the internet to personal computers to artificial intelligence. What makes this different from a straightforward tech history is that Isaacson focuses on personality, ambition, creativity, and the cultural forces that shaped each era. Readers find this especially valuable because it demystifies how transformative technology actually emerges. It's not magic. It's work, vision, and people. If you want to understand the DNA of how technology gets made and who really drove the digital age, this is your book. Number 3. Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens zooms all the way out. Instead of focusing on recent technology, he asks, what is it about humans that allowed us to dominate the planet in the first place? The book traces our species from the emergence of Homo sapiens to the present day. And crucially, it argues that our ability to imagine shared realities, religions, corporations, money, nations, is what sets us apart. So why does this matter for understanding technology? Because right now, we're inventing technologies like AI and genetic engineering while operating on belief systems designed for a completely different era. Harari argues that we've created powerful tools but lack the wisdom to wield them responsibly. We can edit genes and create artificial intelligence, but our moral and philosophical frameworks haven't evolved to keep pace. This book doesn't give you answers. Instead, it gives you a perspective that cuts through the hype and helps you think about technology at a civilizational level. Readers describe it as perspective shifting. It makes you question assumptions you didn't even know you had. Number 2. Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. If you want to think seriously about artificial intelligence and the future, you need to read Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. Bostrom, a philosopher and AI researcher, asks one of the most important questions of our time. What happens when we create an intelligence that exceeds our own? The book isn't science fiction. It's rigorous analysis of the technical, philosophical, and strategic challenges posed by advanced AI. Bostrom walks through scenarios most people haven't considered. He explores the alignment problem. How do we ensure that a superintelligent AI shares our values? He examines potential failure modes, existential risks, and strategic considerations around AI development. The core argument is that artificial superintelligence represents an inflection point in human history. How we approach it could determine whether humanity thrives or becomes irrelevant. This isn't doom-mongering. It's serious risk analysis applied to a technology that may reshape civilization. Readers often say this book made them realize how unprepared most people, and most institutions, actually are for what's coming. It's challenging to read, but it's the kind of book that stays with you. It changes how you evaluate AI news, policy debates, and even your career choices. Number 1. The Structure of Scientific Revolutions by Thomas Kuhn. Our number 1 pick might seem historical, but it's the most powerful lens for understanding technology in the present moment. Thomas Kuhn's The Structure of Scientific Revolutions argues that science doesn't advance in a steady, linear way. Instead, it moves through paradigm shifts. A paradigm is a shared framework of assumptions, methods, and values that a scientific community operates within. For a long time, scientists work within that paradigm, solving puzzles and refining knowledge. But eventually, anomalies pile up. Things stop fitting the old model. Then, rarely and dramatically, the paradigm shifts. Think, from Ptolemaic astronomy to Copernican, from Newtonian physics to Einstein's relativity. Why is this crucial for understanding technology today? Because we're living through a potential paradigm shift right now. The old assumptions about what's possible, what intelligence looks like, what human work means, what the internet is for, are being challenged. When you understand Kuhn's framework, you stop seeing disruption as random chaos. You start seeing it as a predictable pattern of how knowledge evolves. This book helps you think about which technologies represent genuine paradigm shifts versus which ones are just hype within the existing paradigm. Readers describe it as illuminating. Once you understand Kuhn's theory, you can't stop seeing it everywhere, in science, in technology, in culture. Okay, so here's what connects all 5 of these books. They refuse simple narratives. They don't pretend technology is either salvation or apocalypse. Instead, they acknowledge complexity. They help you develop critical thinking skills that will serve you no matter how fast technology evolves. And they remind you that behind every breakthrough, every algorithm, every innovation, there are human choices, human values, and human limitations. That's what makes these books essential reading in an age of accelerating technological change. If you're ready to stop passively consuming technology and start thinking deeply about it, pick up any one of these books. Your future self will thank you. Links to all of these books are in the description. Let us know in the comments which one you're picking up first. And if you loved this breakdown, subscribe so you don't miss our